So, Pat, since the last time you joined me, Awakened by the Setting Sun was coming out then, and you've released another full-length album and four singles since that album. Do you think that Varia has found its groove?
Yeah, so it's been a pretty wild ride. We've changed a lot over the past few years. So with when we put out the Awakened album, that was more of like a kind of like an older like post-hardcore sound. And then the album itself, Changing of Tides, it feels like such a long like stretch of time because we released so many songs like and then we put out like the other half of the whole thing. But yeah, that was kind of like that album, Changing of Tides, kind of like the end of an era for that sound. And we had like we got a new lineup, and then we kind of just like looked at ourselves, kind of looked around, and we were like, we could keep going. Like we did find a groove with that sound. We're like, we could keep going with how this album has sounded, and I really love all the albums we've done, but it was just time for a change, you know. And we kind of look back now when we listen to Changing of Tides, and we were like, some of these songs, if we had released them any later, would have sounded like out of date, or they would have sounded really dated. And so, you know, we got a couple new members and stuff, and it was just time for a change. Like we changed our logo, and this newer stuff's a lot heavier. It's a lot different, and it's honestly too a lot of those songs on Changing of Tides. Like, I'm sorry, I'm giving like a super long answer.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. That's what it's all about.
A lot of those songs on Changing of Tides, like it was just me writing all the guitars, and then like our other guitarist Jacob would like chime in here and there and stuff like that. And it was when we would go to play it, we were like, oh wow, this is a lot more technical and difficult than we thought. And like the size of the venues we were playing, and just with the gear, like there's a song on there, it's our personal favorite. It's called Where the Cold Wind Blows. That's like our favorite one from that whole album. And we've been playing it live, and it's because some of it it's just so like it's so technical, and when you put that in like these big speakers it doesn't really hit the way you want it to. So we kind of were like, okay, well, what if we like kind of switched up our sound a little bit and just did something that's going to hit heavier and it's going to translate better live. So that's why Feral, that intro is kind of like simple. You've heard the newer stuff, right? Like Feral and
I
Coming
was
From.
actually refreshing myself before we started, and I didn't realize just how much I really liked Feral. That's a hell of
Oh,
a
really?
song. I really enjoyed that it started out so heavy, but then I feel like, and this kind of does lead into another question, but I feel like once your cleans in that started, you really kind of let go and went to a place I haven't heard you go to in quite a while. You felt comfortable and you felt really just soulful in the way that you sang that. And that kind of leads me to my question of, do you have a preference between cleans or harsh vocals?
Thank you. Yeah, I always consider myself more like a clean singer that can just do screaming because that's what I started with. I started just like I always, funny enough, I always wanted to sound like Chad Kroger from Nickelback growing up. People make fun of them all the
No.
time, but
Oh
I
no.
loved like those bands like the what is it called, post grunge. Like I loved those like radio dad rock bands and stuff growing up, like playing guitar.
No,
And I
I
was like,
understand
man,
though. He's got like a little bit of a gruffness to his voice the way he sings. So I know, is that what you're talking about? Is sounding like that?
yeah, like I
Yeah.
loved bands like that and like Seether, funny enough, and Nirvana. And it's like I always wanted to sound like that, but talking like I sound like SpongeBob. And so it's like it was kind of like I couldn't really get there. And then funny enough, like I discovered bands like when Johnny Craig was in Emarosa, and just that sort of rasp and that soul, that was kind of what kind of made me more comfortable as like a singer. And then I just kind of translated that into screaming because like when I was in high school, the people we were around and just playing, like I always wanted to make like pop punk music, but everyone around me wanted to play like Bullet for My Valentine and stuff. So
Yep.
I kind of like learned how to do it more out of necessity. I like screaming's interesting. Like to me, that's definitely a secondary thing. It's like I almost forget I can do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But over the past couple of years, I've tried like really hard to like hone it in, and like I have like a lisp when I scream and stuff too. Like kind of on Feral too, you can notice it. I go like farewell. instead of actually enunciating. So it's so funny. We're going to the studio tomorrow, so I'm gonna keep that in mind. But yeah, I would say singing comes way more naturally. I have they say I have perfect pitch, but I feel really douchey saying that. Uh, but
No,
I've
but you
always had
do. I mean, you do. Uh, okay. There are some singers that if they wanted to sing pop music, they could sing pop music. They could sing rock music. They can sing metal music. There's just some singers that have that ability. Even someone like Cassandra Carson, who has an amazing rock voice, I don't know if she'd be able to do pop. You know,
yeah.
you though you do have a voice that if you wanted to do pop music, you could do that. I mean, songs like Algorithm show that off very well. But
Oh
you also
yeah.
have
Thank you.
I like the song Algorithm. I really do. I know that was
I
kind
do
of
too.
a
Yeah.
I know that you were kind of playing around when you made that, but I thought that was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah. I That's another thing with our band too, is like I'm glad that we've had like enough of it like we've never really been like signed to like a label or anything that like has I don't even know if they do that. It's like it's very restrictive on like what you can and can't play. And I'm really grateful like our fan base, like we could put out a song like Nightfall was very poppy. It was
Yeah.
almost a little 3 days Third Eye Blind sounding.
Yeah,
But
I hear that now that
we
you
could
say
drop
that.
something like that and then we could drop Feral. Yeah, Feral like I hope they don't sue us. Feral like right after that. And then they just seem to be down with it. But yeah, I actually it's funny enough you mentioned that. I had a pop band with one of the old Sleeping with Sirens guitarists, and we had like I was just listening to that the other day. There's like 15 songs. There's a whole
Oh wow.
album of like pop songs that I had, and I don't know, like we never met in person. They're all cool guys and stuff, but like we never met in person, and that was like during COVID, and it was like an interesting experiment. Like, yeah, I don't know. I like dabbling in other genres and stuff too. I just feel like when it's just the same thing over and over, like if it's like the pop thing or if it's just the heavy over and over, it gets stale. So you got to switch it up, you know?
Yeah, and I hate to keep bringing up other bands, but someone like Anchor, I don't know if you're very familiar with them or not, but they almost every song sounds different in some way than the last one. There for a little bit, they kind of had a few that sounded a little bit alike, but then they did it again. They switched it up and went back to their roots, or just it keeps it interesting. It makes it where when you push play, the last song doesn't sound like the next one, and I prefer that too, especially on an album. Like it's one thing
Yeah.
if your singles all kind of sort of sound alike, but if you have an album, I want that sucker to have some songs in there that you go, okay, that was different. I liked that.
Yeah. I love like there's a band called Scary Kids Scaring Kids. They put out an album, I think in like it's a self-titled album. I think it was like 2006, and there's songs on there. They're like interludes, and they're
Mm.
like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, and those are some of my favorites by them. I always loved when bands like did weird stuff in between songs, and actually, funny enough, with Algorithm too, like we were supposed to do a video for that one. It was supposed to be like a 70s themed
Oh yeah.
video, yeah, but we were like, this would probably cost way too much money, and we just never did it.
That sort of actually brings me to another thing I kind of wanted to ask. This is a new thing that I'm starting to ask all the bands that I talk to. What are your thoughts on AI in music? And I bring that up now because you kind of mentioned music videos, and me personally, and this is just me. I'm cool with people using it for music videos because they're so damn expensive and so time consuming. And I know how much it takes out of a struggling artist to do a music video, but they also feel the need to put them out for content. So it doesn't bother me necessarily for AI to be used in music videos, me personally. I'm not crazy about it, but I understand the need for it for a smaller artist. But I'm just curious on what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I can definitely get it from like that perspective and stuff like that. I don't know. Sometimes I joke with people and like this, I'm like, this is a really hot take. I'm like, some of these bands sound so boring. The AI sounds better. I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? If y'all are gonna write the same thing over and over, I'd rather listen to the AI. I mean, it's got it's got its like funny parts. Like there's stuff where it's like people have turned like there's a rock version of like Many Men that I'm like, damn, like the computer actually sounds kind of good, but just I think like just knowing like what it does to the environment and stuff like that is just it makes it hard to stomach anything, especially with AI slop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the other side of the coin that I was even talking about was yes, with music videos, it is a cost-effective way for artists to put out music videos, but that doesn't mean that that should be the only way that they put out music videos. They should take the time, when they can and when they're able to actually put the effort into making a music video and putting your art out there or whoever directed or made the video. I don't want to take away from the people that do the hard work in that aspect. So I do understand that.
Yeah, and I think like I've seen a couple different like applications of it where it's like useful. I think it was Josh Travis or some country singer. Like he had like some thing where he couldn't sing anymore the way he used to, but there was like a song that he had been wanting to like either like remaster or re-record, and like they used AI to kind of like bridge the gap. And it's like I understand that stuff, but then I also think like, damn, we have no drinking water now. So, so
There's
I'm kind of
also
like,
that.
yeah, it's I don't know, I'm
Yeah.
kind of torn on it, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're absolutely right. So what's your favorite song that you've released in since we talked last? Like I said, I think the last song that you released when we talked last was your I think Look at Me Now was actually the single that you
Oh,
were
look where we are
promoting.
now.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, that was a long time
It
ago. I
was. It
still
was a
love
little while
that
back.
song.
But what's your favorite song that you've released since then?
Oh man. Um, I really there's a song that we dropped. It's called Saturn Valley. I really, really like that one. I wrote it for a friend of mine who's no longer with us that helped me kind of like get into this like just like music in general and stuff like that. So that song means a lot. We shot a video for it in an arcade, but it's funny like every time we go play it, people actually walk out because it's like
Oh
the
wow.
poppy one.
Yeah, I can see that, which is it's funny because that's another one that I actually really like. So maybe I do like pop
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, we like have to put it at the end because we do this thing with the phones and the bridge, like with the flashlights. That's a song I really, really love. Nightfall I really liked too. Nightfall was supposed to be on our album instead of Heaven Knows. Like Heaven Knows wasn't supposed to be one of our songs. It was one of the older guys wrote it, and we just kind of used it last second. Damn, there's I love them all, which is kind of like hard. I love playing like Electric Sleep live. That one's really good. Feral is really, what's so funny about Feral too is we actually had another song, and we're gonna drop it, so I'll just say the name. It's a song called Midnight Blue. We had actually like shot a video for it, did all the like content and stuff, and we had it like ready to go. So we recorded Midnight Blue and Feral on like the same 2 days, and we were like showing people, and people would be like, "Yeah, Midnight Blue's pretty good," and then like just the response that we all got from Feral, like
Hmm.
would people would just go like, "What is that?" It was like this different sort of thing, and it was just like an instant reaction. And I actually had to kind of like fight for it. I was like, "Guys, I think we should do Feral instead, at least first." I was like, "Sometimes you just got to go with your gut," and then we did, and that song got put on Octane, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, so I like Feral.
Man, I just wish I love that Octane does this for smaller artists. I just wish that they would put them in regular rotation just a little bit more because I don't really see why it has to only be a special occasion for the test drive. But that's just me.
Yeah, they were always really good to us. I think they just had a lot going on
Of course.
with Farrell and like when Farrell was coming on and stuff. So I don't know, maybe we'll have another song on there someday. It was a cool opportunity. It was I have a video, maybe I'll post it. It's me the last time they played it on air, I took my grandma out because
Oh
she
yeah.
like doesn't listen to metal at all. And I have a video, it's like me on the radio and she's like, "Why would they put you on there?" And I'm like it's funny. It's
Oh,
it's endearing.
grandma.
Yeah, I'll have
Hey,
to
but
post
leave
it.
it to them to always make sure to keep you on ground level.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So tell me, what have you been up to outside of music? I know that you probably have to have a day job. Most people don't realize, but most bands members these days have to have day jobs. But what have you been up to outside of that? I mean, it can even be concerts. It doesn't necessarily have to be completely outside of music, but you know what I mean.
I have done all this. Hopefully, by the time this gets posted, I will start being a firefighter. That's what I'm
Oh,
trying to
wow.
be. Yeah. So last year was like just a crazy year, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I need a new direction in life, at least with like my day job. Because I was like a retail manager at a lot of places, but I started training really, really heavy to go do the firefighter job. I lost like 30 pounds in like 2 months.
Yeah, you do look
um,
fit.
oh, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been training really heavy for that. Hopefully I should get it any day now. They're supposed to get back to me, but I did like all the steps. I did the they do like a lie detector test and they do like this like um maybe I shouldn't say that. Fuck it, I'll just say it. It's they do like this like personality assessment and it was like asking all these like random questions. One of them was I like to be a singer or something and I was like, well, I got to put yes.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's good to know that they do, their due diligence when looking for, that line of work. So that's okay to put out there, I would think.
Yeah, and also too, like the reason that I wanted to go and do that was because like music for me, I think it might have been the same with like the radio stuff for you. Like music for me kind of became more like it felt like trying to build my own cult rather than just going out and like playing in a band and like making music. It's like, everything with algorithms now, it's like you have to do what's best for this machine that no one even knows like the algorithm, like how it works. And it's like you have to try to like convince people and like have like a product and branding and it became kind of like took the life out of it for me and I think it does that for a lot of artists and stuff but then it's also kind of just like when you're pushing your own band or your own like art I don't know for me it's like I don't contrary to popular belief like I don't like looking at myself as like I don't need to look at myself all the time and it's like
Yeah.
doing the firefighter job is good because it's like yeah, I'm part of something that's like bigger than myself, and I can kind of just blend into the background in a way and just kind of do things for other people and like not expect anything in return. You know what I mean? It's like when you're out there like touring and like promoting your art, it's like I feel like a puppet a lot of times because it's like I have to like dance in front of the camera and I have to like it's
And think of things to do. You have to actually think of these things to do that have nothing to do with music or what you're actually trying to put out there.
Yeah, there's a meme where it's like, I always, I always wanted to grow up and be a content creator, business manager, social media guru, and musician.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a lot, but I mean, I'm grateful to be here doing everything. Doing those like lip sync videos is, I have like really bad social anxiety. That is probably the top tier final boss of like social anxiety, especially like there's been times where we go out and film stuff, and I'm like, we'll find like a nice alley or something, but it's like there's people on the street, and I'll be like,
You feel
guys,
so self-conscious.
I'll be like, I can't do this in front of people, and I must sound like a lunatic or something. But I just like I don't know, like just pretending to like lip sync in front of a camera. I don't know. It's
No, I completely understand. I don't think you sound like a lunatic at all. If you do, then I guess I am one too because it's embarrassing and
yeah,
it's
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 a
almost like
humiliation
watching
ritual.
like when you're watching The Office and they're embarrassing themselves and you're like, how can people do this on camera? It's crazy.
I know, and I'm the guy that has to like go through and edit it too, and it's definitely a
Oh, that's
humiliation
terrible.
ritual. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But I mean, that's the game now. I mean, even like the last time we talked, like things have changed. And, with us, like I love doing music videos and I love making them. But honestly, we even kind of got to a point where it's like, do people even really watch them at this point? I'd much rather like spend X amount of money and go rent a space and get like 120 vertical shots of something than a YouTube video. You know what I mean? It's just
Yep.
that's the thing about music too, and like the arts and stuff is like it's an ever changing landscape. And so it's tough if you like take a break and then come back into it to get back into the groove and stuff like that. So
Yeah, me personally, like just the way I see it, I like music videos. I grew up in the MTV age, but funny enough, where I live, the Baptist church actually banned MTV and Nickelodeon because they were the same company. So I actually didn't even have MTV until it was just the real world all the time. And by then it was like, well, whatever. So I look back sometimes and I'm like, Oh shit, I've actually never seen that video. Like I watched a Nirvana video. I was the biggest Nirvana fan in the world, and I had never seen the video for "Come as You Are." I didn't
Oh,
realize
really?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
It,
realize it until I was like, "Oh shit, I've actually not seen that. I should watch that."
yeah, it never gets talked about. They're like in this weird, like, it looks like a stage, but it's a dining room and there's like a
Hmm.
chandelier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I personally I like music videos. I can understand the bands that only put one out for every, the singles that they think a video should go with. They don't do it for
Yeah.
every single, but I think that a good music video can absolutely tell a story. Like Bloodywood, for example, I like that they put music videos out with their stuff because they show off India, they show off their culture, they put the subtitles in there so that you can understand what he's saying when he's singing in Indian. But you know, at the same time, I can understand how much it can wear you out, even putting that money out. Like Anchor, I brought them up earlier. They've put out a music video for every single that they've put out with their new drummer, I'm pretty sure. And I was thinking the other day, I'm like, that has to be the cost of that has to be so astronomical. Like, I hope that it's worth it for them to constantly put these videos out because I enjoy them, but I know
Yeah.
they have to be taking a net loss on those things.
Yeah. Southern Valley, our video actually was supposed to have like a whole storyline with it. Like there was supposed to be like a bunch of B-roll and like a family and stuff like that, but I guess the actors didn't show up.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that was, yeah, I mean, it's a lot, dude. It's, but also what people don't think about too is it's not just the money to like get a space and then like pay a person to film it. It's also like just as much, probably even more, is to the money to advertise that. So that's another thing too,
Yeah.
to take into consideration. But I love making them. It's the love of the craft, I guess. If I had like the next thing I'm gonna get is like a nice like camera. I got to get back into like camera world and figure out
Yeah.
what's good. But I can like edit videos and stuff. Um, like if I really sat there with like a bunch of performance videos, like I know I could like get something pretty decent. But yeah, man, I mean it's definitely an art, it's definitely a craft to do that. But I love making them too. I wish they came back in like a more like accessible version, I guess, because everyone's just on their phone now, you know
That's
what I mean?
fair. That's fair.
We actually for Saturn Valley too, like oh now my brain's like thinking we did I made a whole like um was it 9 by 16 or whatever this ratio, I'm probably messing that up. We made a whole like vertical music video and I was gonna
Mhm.
post it. And then they were like, Pat, no one is going to watch this.
And they might be right, but I
Yeah.
know at least one person would. So, well, real quick, I want to make sure that we do a couple of rapid fire questions to make sure we get those answers in just in case we start to run out of time. Upcoming tours, singles, EPs, any of that coming up soon. I know that you just released Coming for Me, and that was an
Yeah.
incredible song, which is what made me think, I need to actually catch up with Varia
Oh, thank you.
and
Yeah.
stuff. But do you have anything else like tours or any more singles or even an EP coming up?
Yeah. So touring, not as much lately. We kind of got to a point where we really want to like be selective with our shows. But we are working on a new like EP. It's a heavier sound, kind of like a mix of Coming for Me and Feral. We're actually recording the next song tomorrow. It's called Envy. And all the songs are like based off of like the seven deadly sins and stuff like that. And it's interesting. It's really heavy and like bizarre, but I love stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're gonna be like doing the whole rest of this year is just kind of getting those songs out. Um, and also too, like for us, it was just like we wanted to make something that was sort of out of left field. And we've never like our band has never truly been like a heavy project. And for this like body of work that we're doing, we were like, why don't we really just like go there and do the thing and just like be really heavy? So that's what this new like body of work is going to be. And there's a name for it, and it's like it's really good. I'm really excited on it. It's yeah, the whole discography of Varia will feel like a giant build up to what this is.
That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up. Do you have any collabs in the works? Either somebody joining y'all or you joining somebody else?
Um, I just did a collab with a band called Who They Fear. Mikey They're
Yep,
all good friends of ours. They're a
I've
solid
featured
band.
them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I featured on Dead Dreaming too. I did
Oh,
those.
okay.
Yeah, I sometimes it's not like I forget, but it's like I did that so quickly. That probably took the least amount of time of any like feature I've done or anything like that because it was literally, I'm not even kidding, it was like 20 minutes and then I just sent it to him and I was like, "Yeah, do what you want."
Cool. Yeah, I see that in your discography on Spotify, but it's not on YouTube, and it confused me. So now it makes sense. Tell me a band that you've played with, that you know on live and stage that you didn't know about, but now you're jamming their music.
As far as like independent bands, like not so much lately. I've really grown to love. Do you know who Jutes is?
No, I have not heard them.
It's Demi Lovato's husband, I think.
Oh, okay.
He makes like, yeah, I always kind of thought like, oh, like he must make like 21 Pilots music or something, but it's actually like very heavy.
Cool.
And it's kind of got that weird like vibe and aesthetic too. So I probably Jutes is what I've been listening to a lot lately.
Cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Pat, thank you so much for joining me. I wish you the best of luck going forward, and you're always welcome on Surprise Radio. Can't wait to hear the new music and really enjoying the music you have out now.
Thank you, man. I'll just leak you the rest of it and then you can have it. You can let me know
Hell
what you
yeah.
think.
The perks.